character in this book called Uncle Leroy. He's a drunken, if you like. But my brother kicks pure knowledge. And he's discussing the era of feminism. Now, I'm all for feminism. No, let me not talk crap. I'm not all for feminism. I'm saying it wrong. Yeah. I support some of the ideas that feminism has.
Okay.
So I don't believe in man boxing up their woman. I think that's an idiot thing. I don't believe a man stopping his woman from elevating. I don't think a woman should get paid less. I'm about equal opportunity.
Yeah, equal, right.
When you start talking about feminism and independence, and you're working within a family structure, you just write the man out of the whole picture.
Yeah, you do.
You have to remember feminism is not designed for the black man.
But government has already written us out of that already.
But catch this, smokes, and it's what the Uncle Leroy was trying to say in this book, and I don't know if people caught it. What he's saying is the system's not designed for the black man to excel. He hasn't got a fair start as everyone else. So while you as the black woman are jumping on feminism, understand that gives you more leeway. But where does that leave your son? Or where does that leave your brother? Or where does that leave your dad or your uncle or any male in your family who, as you lot know, we're talking about police all the time. Black males are systematic. We've been for it. Forget BLM and all this crap which everyone's talking like is news. I got 28 stop and search forms for 2012 when I was in uni. So talking about men, young boys are kicked out of school, criminalized before the age of 16.
Yeah.
So we're already fighting a systematic design that our sisters need to know about.
But let me tell you the problem where the sisters might not even clock how deep it's designed, because you look at teenagers and black youths and you want to say that they're doing crime or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Growing up in the news, they want to say black on black crime. Well, imagine when it does come to, and they say black on black crime, or your son's done something, stabbed someone, shot someone, all of a sudden now, it's your youth. But before that, well, there was a government youth. Yeah, we'll give you the money for your youth. We'll do this for your youth. Blah blah blah.
If
blah,
a
blah,
man
blah.
isn't,
and then as soon as he's done something wrong, why don't you?
Yeah. But if a man,
do you get how mad
bro,
that is,
there's
fam?
so much parallels to what we're gonna converse about when we talk about this subject. So I just could only smile what you're saying.
Yeah.
But it's a thing where we as men, like Uncle Leroy said in this book, he said, I need to find a page and just read it out. He said something about, because I ain't read this book for years, something about us as men. If you're not providing more than what the government is, your baby mother, the mother of your child is not gonna see you as a man.
Yeah.
It's the way. It's as simple as this. Oh, and I get more money for. So even when, like, let's say me, I'm not gonna front. Big up my mother and my children. I don't always have. I'm an author of 3 books. I'm killing the game. I don't always have money to give you more than what the government can give you on a monthly basis.
No, that's real.
So my thing is the consistency. If I can't add to the consistency, the thing about women, I love women and big up all my sisters.
Come on.
A lot of them are on point with what I'm about to say. I've got a lot of sisters who are more woke to me than being a man. You feel what I'm saying to you? They're more woke to the ideologies that we're not able to unify as man and woman because the system has divided us.
Yes.
And what we don't understand why the system divided us, well, okay, you might be better off without your baby, your father or your kids, without the stress that comes with it. But to build a kingdom, you need a king and a queen. You can't do this individually. And we're trying to we're talking about unity. You talked about unity, how do you build these? Every book I write is a piece of the puzzle as to what we're discussing in terms of how we get that final picture. So I might start write a book about economy next, and how to. I'm saying to you, I'm not going to cuss.
That's something that we know. That's something we need to learn.
We have a lot of
to get in the economy.
A lot of those.
That's where that's a big part of where black people felt.
Facts. I'm saying again, it's about, like I said. How can I say this? There's a saying. Are we on the same page? There's no point in me reading the end of the book to you if you don't understand the beginning of the book. And even the middle or wherever. If you're not with me, then I'm not with you. We're talking about the same subject, but we haven't got a basic understanding. I think I like this podcast. There's a thing with lots of podcasts and lots of different platforms that we're all conversing, and not everyone's kind of meeting at the same place. And we have to understand. And me, bruv, I'm going to critique myself now. Since I've come into this game, people need to understand I came from off the road, you know.
Yeah.
I was thrown from off the road into this world where I'm being a voice like now.
Yeah.
I'm talking, I'm like Malcolm X, I'm raw. But I think I'm becoming like Malcolm X now, where a lot of the ideologies I believed in, they're shifting.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't believe in Elijah Muhammad no more. type of thing. But it's like I'm becoming more woke, and I had to go down before I could get back up. So for me, people might look at my journey and think, yeah, Robyn's doing good. Nah, I've been dealing with mental health. I've been reliving my past. I've been going into prisons doing talks. I've been tempted to fuck up a lot of man on road. Facts.
But that's why you get to write.
Because it's in you where you're from. Now, it's like the whole journey. When I wrote Prison to the Street, I realized we're not on the same page, brothers and sisters.
We're not.
Like this whole conversation, I was conversing about a topic, and I realized 90% of the youth workers are warped. 90% of the people talking on the conversation of the street, forget Mama Can't Raise No Man for a second, are warped. And you can see in their behaviors, you can see in the things they're conversing about. I don't know nothing about knife crime. I always say that everyone's talking about knife crime in this country. I'm an alien to knife crime. Yeah, I've been stabbed bare times, and I've done a fair share of stabbing. However, did shooting too be? And what I'm saying is, when Cain killed Abel in the Bible, he used a stone. So the weapon of choice is the focus, is the mindset. So I tried to explain that Prisoner to the Street, this is something that I know goes off a lot of people's head, is the fucking concept we're dealing with. We're not dealing with gang members, we're not dealing with knife crime, and we're not dealing with youth crime, whatever you want to call it. Prisoners to the Streets means that if all of us are in jail right now, see how we're all conversing and we're all doing this mature thing and we're having conversations, if we all met today in jail, I'm going to be screwing you right now. I'm going to be thinking, what's this brother looking at? What end is he from? Where the fuck do I know my man from? I'm going to be preying you because I don't like the way you're quiet over there. And then these men around me, boy, they might be, don't want them too close. We ain't going to be that close in prison because I don't know you. So what I'm saying is to you, your character changes when you're put in an environment. I don't believe in the statement product of your environment. I think that's weak. Because if you're going to maintain, observe that you're a product of your environment and stay there, then bruv, you're the punk. Because you realize that the environment's fucked. And instead of you rising above that, like I love Tupac, but I hate thug life. The hate you give little infants fucks everybody. I ain't reconfirming that, bro. Keep your thug life. I'm going to rise above that. You give me lemons, I'm going to make lemonade.
Come on.
And I love Tupac, but that's something I don't agree with, but Tupac did die young.
But that's real. The
Prisoner to the Street concept is saying that once you go behind those bars, brother, you're a different person, bro. And whoever's been to prison knows what the fuck I'm talking about.
Trust me, it's a different life.
Your whole behavior changes. So, what's this Prisoners to the Street mentality? Cool. When we were younger, we was told if anybody hits us, we do what?
Hit them back.
What did I just do as he spoke? And we got that on camera.
Come on.
Never had that conversation. I just did 3 words, hit them back. I did 3 things, hit them back. I didn't look at him when he said it. Rewind that shit for the camera. The reason why I'm saying that, because it's innate. It's universal. Worldly level, America, wherever you Caribbean, wherever you want to go, anybody hit you, lick that rasp back. So you're learning that at 5, 6. My first scraps in Tiverton and Woodbury, I was 5, 6. I was scrap. Everyone knows me, I was scrapping from young. So if you hit me, you get hit back. What happens when you get to secondary school? It's not when you hit me, you hit them back. No one don't tell you that. You changed the rules. What did your mum say to you when you were younger? If anybody hits you, hit them back. When you got to year 7, bro, you didn't listen to your mum's rules about that.
Nah, it's different.
Yeah, because you're dealing with different stuff now. You're
no, because you don't.
Other years that want to rush you already before you even step
No,
to
you
school.
can't. Look, the prison again. Go back to the prison smoke. What I'm saying is you're going to year 7 and you're looking at it like, rah, this is kind of big man's jail. Like you said, it's big man's jail. However, it could be a man in your class. Bro, if I smack this guy next to me right now, what's everyone's reaction going to be?
I'm not playing with this you.
No, you're going to be probably, all right, you see that? Or whatever it is. Like you're not talking about the little dwarf man boxing. I didn't see it either, so I can't really get involved because I didn't watch it. I don't know nothing about it, but same concept. Someone gets smacked, everyone's reaction is, rah, did you see that?
Yeah.
And you're in year 7, brother, your reputation, if you don't come back and do me something, old school like done. You are getting into your head and making you feel about this small over one punch.
Yeah, that's mad.
So what happens is psychologically, you've gone into this environment where you know I can't be seen as a pussy. What other place do you have that mentality, bro?
Jail, fam. You can't.
Oh, in jail, yeah.
Because even
in prison,
even when I went there, fam, the fight, I could have walked away, fam. I just smacked man with a cue stick and then man just took it
from there.
long.
Took it from there.
Would you have walked away?
No, because he was
Do you
on some
understand
bully
what I'm
thing.
saying?
Man was on some pick up the ball, no one's playing thing. Man, don't play
Right,
that.
do you
man.
understand what I'm saying?
Don't try that.
No,
man.
because-
Are you crazy?
But you
Yeah,
asked
but
the
that might have
question.
been your ego, though.
Exactly.
That's
You
your
asked the
ego.
question. Could he have walked away?
He could have walked
Nah, he
away.
couldn't
No,
have.
no,
Listen,
What do you mean? He
listen.
picked up
No.
the ball.
No,
He picked,
I'm saying you couldn't have.
We didn't know. We disputed
You
about
wanna be the
rules.
bully and that.
Their man was on some fuck that. No one's playing.
So you
What
could
does
have
that
wanted
mean?
to
So
go,
my
alright,
thing mash up
and if you- no,
because you don't
and if
agree
you
with
let
me
a man
on
do-
what the rules are.
you could have just said, alright, cool.
No, but
Say that.
you see the mentality. See,
And walk away.
And pause. On that same note.
Yeah.
This is why he would get looked at a pussy for getting hit by me. And you would get perceived as a pussy for walking away. It isn't naturally the case.
It isn't naturally. No, I get it. I get it.
A prisoner's mentality, like all the other guys who, when he took the ball, everyone's now observing him. Yo, what's my man?
gonna
What's my man
What's
on?
my
What's
man?
he-
Yeah,
gonna
because
do?
it's a chess move. It's
So
a chess
again,
move,
I'm going to
innit?
ask everyone at this table.
My tunes soon come out.
Everyone
We'll
at this
chess you.
table, are we dealing with knife crime or are we dealing with a prisoner's fucking mindset?
Yeah,
This is
you're
what I've been
mindset,
trying to
yeah.
promote for years. If you're dealing with a prisoner's mindset, understand this. If you're dealing with a prisoner's mindset before the age of 16, none of them motherfuckers is criminal minded. Hear me out. Before the age of 16, can you work?
Yeah.
No.
Really?
Really.
How
you
much
gotta
jobs
get
can
paper
you?
around.
What,
I
you
had paper around.
I had paper
I
around.
worked.
I had
Yeah,
paper
yeah,
around.
so
But
that's
how
what I'm
many
saying.
man- but how
Bro.
many man can have a paper round?
I had paper around. Not
Everybody,
only,
but no,
if
who
you're in
wanted
the-
to do it?
But no one
No, but
wanted
if
to
you're in
do
the
it.
block,
wanted to
if
do
you're in
it.
the block and it's the one shop, you can't employ all of you. So you might.
I
have
never
a
done it
paper
for the
round.
shop though.
No, I did paper. I know what you
Yeah,
mean,
man
but
done
the
paper,
point
but
I'm
man
making,
need
the point I'm
tea.
making is that, like he
to
said,
keep
not
up with the
everyone's going to
wallabies
be
and
able
that.
to do the paper round
Yeah.
thing. First of
Yeah,
all, because not
yeah.
everyone's parents are going to let them out to do and get certain. Some of us are free to do
Yeah,
our
yeah.
thing, and our mums were like, "Yo, just whatever, just come back in it." So when you look at it, you know what I'm saying. As long as you
come
get your
back,
own
yeah,
money,
yeah,
I
just get
remember
your
doing
money.
that because we delivered Hackney Echo, me and my brother in
Yeah,
Holly
yeah.
Street
I used
Estate.
to do the
Bro, I
avenues.
was so scared. If you Google Holly Street Estate, fuck
Yeah,
now.
yeah, man, no, man,
If you-
no, man,
the
yeah.
flats, I was scared. I was getting chased in balconies with no lights.
Yeah,
But for the
people
sake of
with-
money, and you know what's funny about that whole concept? I used to look at my brother and think, well, why are we doing this? But was older than me, so
he's already
he
in.
wants Nike.
Yeah,
Why does he want Nike? Because in prison, when you got Dunlop, what happens? Man, take the piss out of you again. So you get smacked in your face, someone's going to take the piss out of you. You ain't got Machino in year 8, but that costs a lot of money, bro. Then you're
Yeah,
not the
nah,
guy.
it was true.
You ain't got Armani jeans,
Back in
Valentino.
the day, at Avrex and all that.
If you
Avrex
ain't got
jackets,
that-
5, 6
and that-
bills, fam. Like,
So you feel like you want to fit in. So understand the age before 16. So you'll do anything. Like all these young bucks going country now, everyone's acting surprised. Like, oh, well, why are they manipulating you? It's easy to fucking manipulate
easy,
you.
it's easy, it's
Because
easy, it's easy.
they're not criminals that they're sending to country. They're sending infants who are thinking of one thing, which is the trainers. Once I get the trainers, I go back to school or the block. You
They're
don't
not
cuss
thinking
me.
about what
You
they're
don't cuss
actually
me.
doing.
You don't cuss me. You don't
my
cuss
brother.
me. And you don't cuss me. I fit in.
When it's 10 and 11, 10, 11-year-olds, and you like, this is what I'm saying, some real Fagin things going on. Are you taking a 10, 11-year-old?
Fagin.
You're going up there for the weekend. You're there. You can't get home. You're 10, 11. You don't know how to get back to London. So you're
but-
there
but-
putting this yard and you're there.
But what he's saying, the pressure at that age is real though. Because
Yeah, but what-
when I started my paper round at the end of year 7, fam.
Yeah,
Because
same,
I needed
same.
Scott
No,
jacket,
year 6, yeah.
and I needed
Yeah.
wallabies, and I needed all of those things. But I got certain man them that was in my school that their
had
parents
these
just
things.
drop it. Then
Drop it
fam,
on them.
110s come to school. I'm like, right, now I've got to work a couple weeks for my paper round to stack my £20 a week out of that to get my. You
So
get me,
so
mate?
let's
But-
let's flip it then. You've done it that way. The younger 11's done it that way. Gone country or whatever. So let's take it back to our time. I know enough man shooting before the age of 16. Facts. So these guys are getting criminal records off of the back of selling weed or selling crack and all the rest of it before 16. But the law says that they can't. There's not much jobs for you past the age of 16,
yeah.
and you can't work without a A9 number other than newspaper or what. Anyway, I don't want to make jokes, but the reality is, me and my brother used to hustle. We used to do those, those car wash things.
yeah, come on,
So I know
come
it
on,
was
you're
a problem.
grinding, you're
But this is year 6. Yeah, man was
I used to
hustling.
sell stuff in school, lollipops, chocolates.
Yeah, yeah,
Man used to
all of
sell
these
kitchen
things,
herbs
fam.
as weed, bro. Yeah, and I was successful in
kitchen
DNK.
herb, you know.
In DNK, I was
Yeah,
successful.
okay,
I
yeah,
sold the
yeah.
most kitchen herb. Anyway, a little bit educated DNK, the most kitchen
was the
herbs.
plug.
I was the plug.
Yeah, the
I was the real plug,
didn't
and man
really know
was
you-
getting high. Yeah, so the whole thing
man
is.
was
No. It's a place.
You don't believe me?
Fam,
Ask the homie.
He said
Ask the homie, think I'm
man was
joking.
getting high off time.
it's the placebo because they told us
Rosemary and that.
They
young
told
as well.
us so.
Yeah,
They're
they're young as well,
told
so they
us
don't know
so.
about weed.
You know,
That's why the brain's
I can
mad,
feel
you
that.
know.
But look at what I'm saying, even myself, by doing that. I play it back. I wrote in prison to the street that I did that. And I play it back. I'm like, do you remember that day? Why did you do that? I was like, because I remember I wanted trainers. And mummy's £5 a week ain't cutting it. There's 5 days in a week, bro. And at lunchtime, man are going Oscars in D&K. They want to go out and buy a takeaway. Brother, I don't have money for no takeaway. I got to eat school dinners or pretend that I'm not hungry.
Yeah, because I
understand kids who are under pressure. So when you go and do, like, I can see, if I told a young buck now, go and do something foul, I can see how impressionable I can be on that young person to do what I'm saying, because he's not criminal minded. He's peer pressure minded. He's infant minded. So I said, I was in Felton prison the other day, I did a talk. I said, there's kids in there, everyone I was talking to is doing 17 years. Brother, these guys is about 17. So I'm looking at them.
Their lifespan. They've only made it.
You don't even remember the first 2-3 years of your life. You're doing more than, you're doing more.
Yeah, longer than you can remember. Yeah.
So, and you're probably virgins as well when you get, so anyway, so next, I'm talking to these kids. Bro, I did a glass of water on that, but that's just that through. Yeah, but it's a thing where the mentality that they're gonna be coming out with is gonna be,
of course.
And what I'm saying is, are they supposed to be going to prison for those times, even if you have stabbed and killed somebody? Now, debatable. People say, well, if it was your son, you would say otherwise. I'm saying the best way to address this is to undress this. So stop calling them criminals. Send them to a facility like Felton. Build up flats. Have motherfuckers like, sorry, I'm not a motherfucker. Have kings like me working in that establishment. Queens like Peaches, your Mark Princes, I could make a dream team of people who can, exactly. Why? Because crime is a business. So my whole argument is, let's not try and get them to fix our problem. Let's educate, safe brother, let's educate ourselves on the fact that we are prisoners to the streets. If the system don't want to hear our argument through criminology studies or whatever it is, then we just do our own thing. But what I'm saying, what I'm saying,
you don't want to drink.
Not right now, no, I'm good. What I'm saying is that it's like, how can I explain this? If we can decriminalize them, we can educate them. If we criminalize them, we can never rehabilitate them. So what I'm saying is we're going to constantly have a cycle of youths going to jail being perceived as criminals and not understanding this basic conversation, which you agreed with when I did 1, 2, 3, you agreed with your story, and you agreed with. So my thing's, hold on a minute, we're sitting here, we all agree with it, but then our youths are still getting sent to jail and they're still getting criminalized, and then we're calling them gang members, knowing I grew up between Hackney and Tottenham. And this is why my story is so unique in the sense, not because I grew up between Hackney and Tottenham, but I kept my friends in Hackney, I kept my friends in Tottenham. I don't give a shit now about Hackney versus Tottenham, and I didn't give a shit then. That was an argument over one person who got killed. I didn't even fucking know him. Anyone who jumped on that argument from Hackney and Tottenham who weren't a part of it, idiots.
Yeah, but that's
at least 90% of the fucking man.
Yeah, but that's what's all going on now, though. And now they've inherited their own beef within the beef that they don't really know about.
This is why I tried to undress it. And when I wrote the book and say, look, do you lot know why Holly Street Fields started? Because it started over me when a man said in the play fight, Robyn will knock out all these Fields boys. So if you lot want to understand the basic denominator for this fuckery, and you undress it and you realize, wow, we were kids. So in that situation, I was Rome's. I was in a situation where I remember the fight, I said it in the book, Prison to the Street. I got offered to fight with the Fields boys. I said, well, I'll fight everybody. But I went to primary school with these guys. So they're my friends. I'm not even from Holly Street. I'm from London Fields, if you like. So we're all, we're kids, 13, I don't even know what age that is. We're arguing about who can, and then after my friend come out the shop thinking it was real. Stirred it into a real fight. After he had that fight, I was like, no, I don't fight. But he didn't know that they were my friends before I knew him. He thought I was a Holly Street before. No, bro, I know these guys before you. London Fields is my spot, my primary school, bro. I went from Tiverton to London Fields. You lot was on the estate, 9 to 3:30. I'm with these guys. I didn't meet you properly till summer holiday, bro. So the fact is, my loyalty should really lay with the Fields boys. However, I didn't get involved because I was young and I thought, all right, they had a one-on-one fight. And if my brethren, I'm not going to say his name, had a one-on-one fight in Wood Green, I'm getting involved, jumping, flying, kicking. But because it was inside, I said, nah, I'm not. It's got nothing to do with me. I know him, let them fight. They're both hotheads.
They need to fight.
Let them fight. But this is before the knives came in. So this is before the knives. But no, it was the same year. But it was like, when I say before, I mean, like, that's what we. It was like, it was the end of the one-on-ones is what I'm saying to you. So
we're coming to the end of it.
I'm saying, we're young, So I'm saying after that, but for me, what I was put in Rome's position when I think about it, because I remember seeing that fight thinking, you think I'm a pussy for not having your back? Because I always have your back. You think I'm scared of Rome's? Is that what you think? No one know Rome's. But you've gone back to the ends looking sulky like, Robyn didn't back me.
Yeah.
So
Because but his mind is, I've come out, you're in the madness with them,
And
I've
I've
got
come
on
to
it,
back you.
and then you ain't full.
Yeah.
But
Fuck, blood. I'm coming back now.
Listen to
Robyn
this.
moving
But
funny.
listen to this though. This is the funniest part about it. When you've come out the shop as my friend saying, "What? Who's Robyn fighting? I'll scrap anyone 1-on-1." I'm at 12, 13 saying to you, "Bruv, shut up, man. They're my friends."
Just relax.
Because I'm a hothead.
You don't want to hear.
You don't wanna
So
hear.
you
You don't wanna
can't
hear.
hear what I'm saying, and you're so all of my friends. Like, I won't say none of us were leaders. This is why I say there's no gang because there's no leader. Everybody had their own mind. I couldn't make a man do nothing, and a man couldn't make me do. And I don't know.
There was no one that could say, listen.
So then where's the gang if no one can't chat to no one, bro? There's no leadership. None of us didn't respect each other enough to listen to each other's opinions. I'm telling you, don't fight him. Oh, forget that. Man, shit. All right, cool. That's it. Suck your mother, And then they started scrapping. He didn't know when he said, he didn't know.
Mother was deadly then.
No, but he didn't know
Suck your
when
mother
he's
was
saying
like
suck your mother to him, his mom's a crackhead.
That's what I'm saying.
So you don't even know why and I know that. But you wouldn't know that, but you don't know him. So I knew what was going to happen. And then when he said suck your mother, I was like, you know what, fuck it. They're both hotheads.
Because you know now, once he said,
It's gone.
yeah,
You
it's
lot
gone,
can fight.
yeah.
When the fight finished, and I don't know, my friend, like he lost. I didn't think he lost. I just thought he fought shit. He has some fighters have good days
And bad days,
and I think because you're like they say, you can't be
adrenaline.
wrong and strong. Your heart's not in it, so you weren't really on your Mayweather thing.
Yeah, you just
weren't.
come out and you
can't
just,
be.
yeah.
It's on a hype thing. So you had the fight. We come back to Holly Street, and then I was chilling on the block, and I said in prison to the street, and I remember thinking, that was weird. Like my friend just fought my friend, and then I started thinking, why did my friend come back? Is this guy upset with me? Now at 12, 13, you could say people would say I incited the beef, but I didn't. I remember being on the block and 1 or 2 man saying my man had a fight, and then some other man was like, "Well, come and go back up fields." Why? Because we didn't have Holly Street with us the first time. So we didn't want in our childish minds, not in our gangster minds, in our infant minds, we didn't want the Fields boys to think, well, you lot think you can fuck with us? Because if you get seen as a pussy once, you get seen as a pussy. Whoa, understand the psychology now. So I'm saying that in that moment, as a 13-year-old, I'm saying, yeah, well then let's go back up there. Everyone said to me, Rob, can we go back up there? And I was like, they're my friends. And I'm like,
You couldn't have said no.
I probably could have, but a part of me
but
was
I'm saying
like,
at that time.
no, not in my head.
where we
I
were
weren't
right,
mature
where we
enough.
were right.
I weren't mature enough, emotionally mature enough I was strong-minded enough, but I was still a prison to the street. So as far as I was concerned, this makes sense.
Yeah, no, you weren't on it, but
It made sense to the prison that I live in.
Yeah,
to the prison that I live in.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm going to go back up there. We went back up there, and again, I said it in the book, and I say it in real time as well. Malcolm, it was, M. Dot, the rapper, said, I'll fight all of you 1-on-1. And even when you look at the whole story, because I did prison to the street fairly objectively. I weren't dissing Holly Street or Fields. I said it straight. I said that when we walked back up to Fields, there was like 12, 13 of us. I was one of the youngest and the skinniest and the smallest. Rather, the henchest man didn't make it to London Fields that day, bro. He ended up in the bush, hiding. He ended up being known for a murderer years later, like he's some serious guy in Hackney. But anyway, that's another conversation. So this youth here was jumping in bushes, bro. Like even now, I don't even know if he likes me now. I don't know if I like him now. We will see each other in the future. So I said, I'm still gonna have to live my life. But my thing is, I see him as a punk. Now the streets might see him as a serious guy because he was involved in one of the first murders of Fields.
All right, can I?
Hear me out. What I'm sorry, bro. What I'm saying is this. The concept is what I'm trying to bring to everyone. If we undress it, let's undress it. Yeah. If you were scared to go and walk to Fields to fight Fields boys, but years later you're involved in a shooting of a Fields boy that leaves somebody dead, do you want my respect?
See, and that's why I was going with it, because you know it could have been that I jumped in the bush. The man think I'm a pussy. No, I'm have to do something extreme to show man I'm not the pussy.
Exactly.
And now you've done that madness.
But you see when
Guess what? You didn't even pull the trigger, so that's another
okay.
conversation.
Oh, you didn't.
But you want to take the reins for it. What I'm saying, no, but this we laugh.
But
But
you
this,
put your hand up,
we
yeah,
laugh.
you put your hand up for it,
We
yeah.
laugh. I don't even say this comically to offend my guy. I don't care if he watches this. It's I deal with. You see me? I deal with brute reality.
Yeah.
And even if it's criticizing myself, I deal with brute reality. I'm not above none of these man there. But when it came to heart, my heart was different. So I'd rather take a beating than jump in the bush. Doesn't make me better than you. I'm honest enough to say that this is who I am. But a lot of these guys, they end up, anyway, long story short, we've walked up to Fields. Let me stay focused. And what Malcolm did, I always respect. And I ended up shanking this years later, and then we fell out. But me and him friends now. That's the flip to it. So my whole thing is, the respect I have for this youth, because I don't think about who he was after the fist fights. I focus on that era, fist fights. That's when you know who's who. When we got to Fields, Malcolm offered out every single Fields boy. There was 30 of them. There was at least 12 of us. And I'm thinking, right, we're going to get outnumbered, but fuck it, like, we're here now, innit?
We're here, yeah.
Can't turn back now. That's the prisoner mindset, by the way. You know when you can't
Yeah.
let a man take the ball off the table, you have to address this shit. So it was like, we're here now. When he offered them all, like, there was 2 of their elders, bruv, nobody wanted to fight. I said it in the book. I've not heard anyone say Robyn's lying about prison to the street, to my face at least. Because I know, like, even Robyn's a buggy word, that guy, he's this, he ain't done this. He ain't done that. Everyone will say their portion. Brother, I'm still in the hood, Hackney now.
Yeah, I'm still in the end.
My next door neighbours are Fields boy, me and them's 100. There's no one who could tell me to my face that I'm chatting shit, but they will say a lot behind your back because no one wants to give you the credit of being an author as well as being a serious youth back in the day. They don't want that because why do we want to rate him for whatever? He ain't caught a body yet. I'm happy I didn't catch a body. I nearly caught you lot's bodies. The you lot didn't know that. So a lot of things that are not in the book. Even I got into a little thing on the high road back in the day. That some things you can't talk about. So I'm saying that the book wasn't about promoting me. It was about explaining the mindset of how we became what you lot just said about the guy who jumped in the bush. That's exactly his reason, bro. That's exactly his reason, bro. So you know the mindset. But what I'm saying to you is, do we respect people like that? That's the problem with the mindset. The problem is we've now become to respect the punks. Bro, I don't give a fuck what no one says. Most man that I know on road can't have it out one-on-one.
They don't.
Listen to me, bro. Listen
Their
to
hands
me.
are soft,
Listen
fam.
to me. Enough man. That's why I say prison mentality. When you're in prison and you see 5 man from a different ends, he wants it with ya. Yeah? Let me see, bro, I was in jail in Jamaica, yeah? I see a man who was giving it the toughest in Mo Bay jail. When I bucked him in, what jail was that? In Richmond Farm Prison. I got shipped out all over the gaff. When I bucked him after a couple of months and I see you and I was up now. Like everyone, this English shoots by it. When I stuck it on my youth, my man acted like he didn't remember me. And you see what I could have done, Smokes. You know what I could have done? I could have fucked him up there and then. You know what I did? I didn't have my top and he was shook at me. I'm looking, well, I'm in the jail. And there's no weights in Jamaican jail, by the way. So I'm in there and I'm eating porridge, push-ups. I'm ready. When I see the youth, I said, well, you don't remember me, no? He said, nah, bloody man, I remember you. I said, yeah.
What's man doing that?
You won. At that moment, you won.
My first day in jail, you wanted to get me rushed. First day. And robbed me.
What, the other one?
The same guy, the same guy wanted to get me robbed in the first jail I was in.
The first jail,
When he bucked me, that wasn't even that was probably the 4th or 5th. No, Richmond. Mo Bay, Spanish Town. That was the third jail I went to.
All over.
They mugged it. They mugged it. Because you know why? You know why? Because I fought back police. You're not meant to do that in Jamaica. You do that in England, but not you do that over there. Jamaica, they make an example of you. So I was over there with this guy, but when I saw him, I'll be real, you lot. I said, "Yo, Rob, fuck him up." And you know what? God spoke to me. You're better than this, bro. You're better than this whole life you've been living your whole life. This is the prison that's kept you trapped. It's not this prison you're in. And it was in Jamaica where I fucking learned how to write prison to the street. Because what I learned was, I could fuck you up. I looked at you, I said, you know what, bro? Hear what I'm saying to you. The next time you see a young boy, because I was young at the time, and a foreigner in here, if you fuck with him, bro, trust me, you're going to get yours.
Yeah, trust.
And he looked at me.
You won.
Me not remember you.
So you said Jamaica is where the turning point was at the that was the turning point.
The turning point was long time before that.
Okay.
For me anyway. You can put your gun down, you can put your knife down, you can put everything down, but if your mind is not changed, that's why I laugh when people say they're doing gun amnesty or knife amnesty. Brother, you upset? I could give you my gun today, give you my knife today, and then after something to somebody I love. I'm gonna find that back, man. If it's not you, bruv, you know, and even if it's not none of those weapons, I'm gonna come at you to kill you. I don't need specifically the knife or the gun. That's why you had people throwing acid. I'm gonna come and do something by any means necessary. So the whole thing we need to focus is if you understand the mindset, you can fix it. We have 90% of youth workers battling knife crime. Brother, this whole country is lost on the conversation. I'm 10 years ahead of most.
But it's never been about knife and gun crime, like what you said. Because if you go back to 89 point, what was our radio station? Station FM. What was their main motto on that thing? on station.
I remember them
Man
names.
really
Guns
listened
don't
to
kill
that.
people, people kill people.
Gonna kill
Come on.
people, people
That
kill
was the
people. Yeah.
original slogan.
Yeah, I remember
fam.
that.
You
So
get,
that was
come
the
on,
original.
bro.
Come on.
Guns don't kill people, you know.
People
People kill people, fam.
But you see what you're saying
The
about.
realest, fam.
You see what you're saying about the addressing? Is it the addressing for the 12, 13 youths now, or the man them that are already deep in it? Because the man them already deep in it, they've already inherited
Again,
people
yeah, I
dead
love
and
that.
so how do you tell a man? Yeah, allow it, man.
This was no, but what he said is real. And what this is the thing. Since this journey, I've been asked, I've been told, I've even gone and done prison talks. And man, said to me, yeah, but this thing won't squash. I said, that's because you motherfuckers don't want it to squash. And I'm gonna tell you why you don't want it to squash. Without your street identity, you had nothing. Enough man, there's enough man older than us in Hackney and Tottenham, you still hear their names. Why do you think their names are still being called? Because they can't come out of jail and change. They need to keep behaving like that.
Get the relevance.
Why? Because
Remember
if
we
they
was talking
if they
about that,
undress that and go and get a dustbin job, they're still prisoner mindset and they feel like they're not anybody important because their name is not ringing in the bell.
But
They're
let me ask you
institutionalized in a
something,
sense.
We
yeah.
had a convo about this 2 weeks ago, and I'm saying, if you decide to change your life around, you fly out, let's say Jamaica, 10 years, live, change whatever, boom, boom, then you come back here. But a man that's got war with you has still got war with you.
Bro,
but
I'm not
you're
gonna lie.
calm,
Again,
you've
I'm
changed.
gonna. Yeah, I know.
How do you address?
Again, I'm gonna interject, bro, and I'm gonna say it like this: prisoner to the street. Fuck what anyone says who tries to tell me about. Yeah, man's out here, bro. I was fucking out here. I was burning up from 16. No one in Hackney weren't burning up from 16. I had Pembury man telling me that when I ran up on them at 16 with a burner, there were no one on the block with no fucking burner. Man who I've run up on and told me to my face after reading that book, bro, you know you was the only man with burner. Man didn't even have burner when you come out.
Burners were.
And I was like, what? And I'm like, no, but what I'm saying is, man will look at my life and say, yeah, well, my man were out here. Not to my face. I've heard, always over here. I've never ever heard anyone say to me, to my face, yeah, Robyn, you went out here. I hear a couple man even in my own block. Because before I wrote Prison to the Street, Prison to the Street, I had an argument in Holly Street. And there was people talking about the book or what's he gonna say, because someone else wrote a book before. I'm not gonna mention his name, but they call it a snitch book, innit? He's still doing his youth work now, and a lot of people will say, I see him the other day, me and him, like people thought I was gonna lick him down because of him snaking me. But what I'm saying, I see him the other day, big him up, it's all cool. He wants to work with the police, that's what you wanna do. For me, whoever wants to do things their way, we're not on the same team, innit?
Yeah.
And for me, I'm not doing things for the sake of attention. I'm not doing things for the sake of validation. I knew who I was in the street. I didn't need a book to validate who I was in the street. There isn't a man who's knocked me out in a one-on-one in Hackney and Tottenham. Facts. I've been rushed, I've been stabbed, I've been shot. No one ain't taking me on a one-on-one. And I'm not saying that makes me feel good though. I feel like Mayweather. I feel like as a man,
that's what I'm saying.
As a man, I'm talking about as a man.
Right.
This is what I'm saying. A lot of these people want to get respected for. I've done other things. That's what I'm saying to you, brother. I'll say it on camera. I've run in yards at the age of 16 with a burner. Frisco, if he's watching this. Bro, I ran up in the yard one time and I thought some youths was chatting some shit. I opened the door, see it was Frisco, and nearly bun him in the face. Wrong yard, 16. So when man want to talk about, and the worst thing with me, Smokes, let me kill it with me and my story. I wrote a whole book where I didn't even say I sold a drug. I did not sell drugs.
Yeah, no, man, yeah.
Understand this, bro. So what I'm saying to you, when I'm looking at my story, I criticize it, critically evaluate it. So I look at it, why did you become the person you became? Why did you do the things that you did? And do you recognize that as something you're proud of? Are you happy that man recognized you as 30, bro? If I die today, the one thing I'll say this at this table, nobody remember me as a street guy, please.
No, I know.
Understand this.
Your books, you're not
Understand
trying to
this.
gloat about what you're doing. You're trying to teach people
What we're trapped in.
All right.
I'm not saying that we...
Sometimes you need to go in depth with
You
your
need to go in
history.
depth
man,
to explain the whole thing.
yeah.
So if I didn't go back to, and if you look at Prison to the Street, I started from the age of 5. I said that when my dad got killed, there was people saying your dad, Roach was one of my witnesses. Anyone said my dad, I smacked him up in primary school. That's me. That's just what I do because I was hurting.
That was your trigger.
Hurting people hurt people.
Yeah, got to hurt people.
And then I learned along the way that as I got older, okay, a lot of the behaviors that I'm demonstrating are not even mine. So again, I'm going to elaborate into a story. Roach knows Mohammed, Ryan, all this big up with my team, man, Andrew, big up. Mohammed used to bully all of us. Mohammed was our don, yeah? And he had a scar on his face and he had facial hair. Imagine being in year 4 and a man with facial hair. I see him.
I said year 4.
I said, yo.
He wasn't in year 4.
No, stop that. Well, stop that.
He
Stop
never
that.
had
Stop
facial
that.
hair in year 4.
I was taking you serious for the whole episode. You see that now? Nah,
No, fam. Man had a scar. And listen, a scar on the face and facial hair. Yeah, you're the daddy.
The whole
You're the
episode I was with you, you know.
whole
Listen,
episode,
nah,
man.
that's the
You're shaving in year 4. Yeah, now you're the boss.
Nah,
Gillette,
come on.
Gillette.
Man
I don't
said,
know what
I'm
it
a real
was.
Gillette, yeah,
Just for men. But he was a, you know the wickedest thing? I'll be honest with you. I've never really been scared of people. I was scared of Mohammed. And I'll tell you why I was scared. Not because of the way he looked, not because of the way he sounded. I get licks all the time. Nothing you can say or do will intimidate me as a child. I used to get licks. So it was the fact that he picked up, I'm not going to say he picked up by his throat. And I wanted to, you're young. I'm thinking, right, he's got my brethren's toes off the floor. I've never seen anybody do anything like that. So then when it was my turn, and he said, I want to fight Robyn, and I was like, oh shit, I don't want to. Like, you see the way I just did this? That's what happened inside. I didn't want to fight. And you know what made me fight him? I said it in the book. He said, your dad. And I said, what? No,
that was your trigger.
And I said to him, no, my dad, I said it in a pussy way. I said, no, my dad's dead.
You wanted to give him the opportunity. So you didn't have to do this. Fam, you didn't know. You didn't know. So I'm not going to let you.
When a man talks to you calmly.
because you naturally know what you can do, you know. But at this time, I'm still wary of your thing. But please don't.
I was shocked.
Yeah, but that's the old school mentality, fam.
But then a difference between us and that's why I rate the younger me, then I rate enough of these man roll. Because I'm like, hold on a minute. I'm telling you today, as a big man, I was shook at Mohammed. I didn't pick up a compass and stab him.
Nah.
I thought about it even then. I was like, right, what if I used the thing with a pencil and...
Oh yeah, the old school
compass.
compass.
I thought about it. I thought about it. Yeah, and I thought about because we're gonna have that in your mind. And I thought to myself, all right, cool. Anyway, he said your dad. I went mad. I started throwing punches like Tyson, you could say, and I literally blacked out. Like to the point where I was like, this is a fight with my older brother. I know I'm gonna get banged up a bit, but I'm gonna give him some. I knew he was a big guy.
Your older brother, you're gonna give your full
I always get battered by my brother, so I'm not minding losing this fight, but you're gonna respect me, bro. Listen to this. Let me tell you this. It's part of me now. Let me tell you this. The boy didn't respect me. I banged him over the first day. You know in the film, you beat the bad guy, Danielson, at the end of the film. Brother, my man wanted to fight me on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Monday's Tuesday, Wednesday's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
No, because he had to get that back.
Because, no, listen to this. You look, this is how I understand the psychology is deep. Where did I say he's from? Somalia. What was going on in Somalia? War-driven Somalia. How the fuck am I going to face this shit? Trauma. He's traumatized. You don't think I'm the victim?
No, he's true. Yeah, he's worse.
Hurting people hurt people.
He's
coming to school just to terrorize, man. Yeah, and we found out years later. Me and Rich and that found out years later. Them lot called me one time. Rich said, "Come, Cornell." I was like, "Why?" They're like, "Yo, Mohammed's here." I was like, "So why are you telling me about Mohammed, bro? This is not year 4." Yeah, Mohammed's here. And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, cool. I came down just to see who Mohammed. I walked past Mohammed. He was now down here.
Okay, because he had that growth spurt first, and then
He
it
was.
stopped.
He stayed where he was in primary school. All of us were taller than him, and me and Rich and the joke, come and beat him up. We was joking, but I
know you mean. Yeah.
I was tempted to actually beat him up because I was that period of my life. I'm not gonna lie. That's why I say man need to keep it real when we talk about this conversation. I didn't even want to go to fucking school, bro. I don't want to face you again because I'm not going to back down like Rome's ain't going to back down. I'm a prisoner to myself. So every time I'm going to school, it's not like I can say, yo, Mohammed, allow it today. I got a headache or I'm tired. I didn't get no sleep last night and you're stronger than me and I don't really want
Mohammed
listen to
ain't
me.
hearing that.
Mohammed,
not hearing
let me
that.
tell you what I mirrored from Mohammed's behaviors. When I went to DNK, I became Mohammed, bro. Understand that.
Going to DNK, you probably have to become Mohammed.
Any school I would have went to, I would have become Mohammed.
Yeah,
No, the reason why I would have
DNK was
it wasn't.
You just got there, but
like
you
there
just
was no other school like DNK.
Yeah, it was like Philip still.
Yeah, it was like Philip.
Yeah, it was. It was.
No, it wasn't. No,
It was. It
was.
swear
But
down.
you think that's because of your trauma?
Listen,
Because
most of
how
my people
Mohammed
went
dealt with you?
DNK.
Yes. Mohammed, if it weren't for Mohammed, I would have never been the way I became. In the sense where Mohammed taught me, oh, you mean to tell me I could beat you up on Monday? Mohammed made me more scared of him. I'm like, bro, I beat
He's
you up
come back
already.
again.
You want more. So I got to do this again. But what if you keep coming back? And this is when
Man's fatiguing now.
Yeah, man.
Rome, this is when I realized, hold on a minute. You know what? He's the bad boy, not me. Do you get it? He's on it. He's 24/7. It's going to take to a point where, like, even if you look at boxers now, certain man will brush up a boxer. And then after that fight, be like, yeah, I don't really want to fight my man again, you know.
Yeah.
So would Joshua fight Dillian White again after the bang that?
I don't
no,
think so.
because he's
That's
a
why
risk.
he's been running.
Because he's a risk. No, but there's enough man who know that certain men
risk
are a
because
risk for
he
them.
can catch me.
Not even that I can't beat you up, but
Like,
you
can catch me.
are a risk.
Yeah.
I don't want to take the risk with you, whether it's for a monetary thing
Value
or for
or, yeah.
respect.
Yeah.
Because I don't want people to say, well, my man fucked me up in a rematch, whatever it is. Now, Muhammad did not care about the audience. Understand how bad he was.
I come for you
I don't
only.
care if I lose to you.
No, he's just like,
I want to
you're on
go
it.
again. I'm
Yeah,
going
let's
to break
go.
your spirit. Now,
Yeah.
what Muhammad taught me, like I said, when I got to secondary school, I realized, hold on a minute. How do you get onto man? Just keep applying pressure. Don't ever, and I told myself, I could be sick with the flu in jail. If you step to me, bro, it's on.
Yeah.
And Muhammad taught me that.
Yeah.
So
Relentless.
what I'm saying to you is, like, a lot of us children who are now becoming a certain way, I'll be honest with you, I know enough, and I don't want to talk too much. I know enough happening. I remember I went to Tiverton Primary School, London Fields Primary. Hackney and Tottenham were beefing. Those two primary people from those two primary schools, older, they ended up in beef with each other. I know certain man wasn't the way they are now.
Yeah.
I know certain man, even older than me, used to get bullied. Because I
weren't the
remember
way they
being
were,
in the
yeah.
playground.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying to you, these men became killers.
Yeah.
How about that? How about that?
Man seem the same.
Yeah, but fam.
No one want to talk about primary school.
Yeah, but you know what it is, yeah? But you see back in the day, and these always laugh at me because I will always go back to back in the day. There's man that I've had mad fights with that I'm in brethren with now.
Yeah, of course.
Because you could have that fight.
I
If it was
respect it.
beat, okay, you two going outside. There's man around, it's you two fighting.
Yeah.
Man could fight, even at the end of the fight. You might be a bit heated, by later on, you're not cool. But next day I'm coming to your house, man in the zoo. Because it's out of our system now.
Again, and I swear I think I lost my point when I was talking about my brethren Malcolm, his brethren. Then he's offered out all these Fields boys in front of me. Said he'll fight everybody. Nobody did want to fight. They waited for their like everybody has a giant Debo.
Come on.
Everybody has a Debo.
The Debo, yeah.
Well, in their school, yeah.
He was our Debo, and they had their own Debo. A guy, I'm not gonna say his name, P for sure. Their Debo came, our Debo came, and they started fighting.
The war of the
It
Debos.
was funny. It
war
was.
Yeah.
I'm
Because
not
now
funny
it's the
because
clash
we're
of the
young.
Titans.
Remember, this is before the knives. I won't
Yeah.
lie to nobody sitting here and say that wasn't a good day for me. Why? Because I don't mind fighting. And because what happened was we get to see who's who. However, what I didn't respect about this day, and I made clear in prison to the street, so whatever people ends, people want to respect. Holly Street was a flat where nobody could chat to. Not because just bad, because there was numbers.
Yeah.
When they knocked down the flats, they decreased those numbers.
they knew they
We were the younger guys with the reputation of an older group, which we knew nothing about. So we had to carry the weight.
Yeah.
We didn't even want to. We had to carry
You
on
lived there.
a weight. It's like being from Broadwater Farm and then the flats get knocked down to one little couple and there's only 6-7 man in there.
You lot still
We've
farm,
been talking about Broadwater Farm for years, so you're going to have to maintain
you have
that
to hold
image.
on.
You lot farm, man.
We don't even know what the image is. We're too young to know what that image is, but
it's
we
true.
have to maintain that
But a lot of
image.
men from Holly Street went to my school. So a lot of them, I didn't know anything about Holly Street until they come to school. Everyone was raving about Holly Street. I was like, oh, what's Holly Street? And like, Hackney, innit? Alright, yeah, but I don't really, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's how I started learning about, I was like, okay, so boom. And there was one brother that's the same name as me. You probably know him. He's
Yeah.
from Holly Street as well. You get me? Boom, boom, boom. So I was like, okay, you lot was really on your thing.
But the thing is,
But
again,
the name holds stigma.
again-
But even like
Yeah.
if you're from ends here, Tottenham
Yeah,
would
yeah.
be, and if you draw a
Yeah.
girl and say what end you from,
yes.
but it holds power, you know. Like right, from
No, but it's secretly a rabbit as well. I've been, right, you're from there. All right, cool.
See,
Slightly.
The yellow, the one
you see my
I'm
thing
saying.
with this, yeah?
but it holds
And
weight.
how we gonna
Sometimes.
how we gonna break it?
to the hood girl.
Because even that
Undress
I've-
it. So like I said,
Good.
to finish the point, to
Yeah,
undress
yeah.
it. So the reason why I'm focusing on this fight so much, because the beginning was more pivotal for me than anything else. If I come in this room now and say I want to fight you, and none of you don't want to fight me, bro, we don't have beef.
No, but you've won though. fam.
Exactly. I'm saying to you, we don't have beef. You didn't want to fight. It's done.
Yeah.
But you don't wait for your big guy to come. When the big guy came, they started fighting. I remember I made a conscious decision not to get involved. I didn't mind having one-on-one fights
Yeah.
if someone called me out when I went back up the
yeah,
second time
yeah.
because we went back up for our brethren.
Yeah.
And that was the idea. Everybody fight each other. We'll know who's who. They'll put some respect on our motherfucking
Yeah,
name.
yeah, yeah.
And Holly Street and Fields is both E8. So
Yeah,
at the end of the day,
across the road, like.
at the end of the day, we're gonna probably link up after this. That's the way I was seeing it in my head.
Yeah.
So when that day took place and the two was fighting and the friend of mine was on the floor, everybody started to jump my friend.
And I said, yeah.
At that second, I said, "You lot are pussy folk," and no one will know the history of the beef. So whatever people become on to be after that, I don't care. Not singling out fields, any area. Let's be honest. Even my own area, Holly Street. I know there's pussies in my team. Let's be, and it doesn't make you, sir. Let me just change the wording probably. It doesn't make you a pussy to not be on it. It makes you a pussy to pretend that you're on it. And then
yes.
not be on
it doesn't make you a pussy to say I don't want to fight.
Yeah, you say
it
that
doesn't
you're
make you a
not
pussy
on
to
it
say I'm not this type of character.
Because you know your position.
It makes you a pussy to pretend that you're about something, and that's why I use that word pussy.
Because
So I don't want it to
why?
be taken out of
because
context.
it's more dangerous going in that situation for someone like you that's on it. Because now you might think, yeah, I got a man that's on it with me.
And they're not on
you
it.
get into that situation and
And
you're
then
on your own.
on your own.
But at least if you go into that situation, a man says, yo, Rob, I'm not even really on this, but I'm not going to lie to
Respect
you.
it.
Then
I
you
respect
have to
it.
respect
And then
it.
you know
It's
what,
not like that.
for this
It's
time I'm
not
gonna
like
take
that
flight now.
nowadays.
Come on, Bridget's not on it, so I'm gonna take flight
so
because
you
of
know how
here.
to maneuver in that situation.
saying.
Man. You give a man a chance.
It's
to
not
say,
like that nowadays.
Yes.
Either it's going to be 5 against 2 or 5 against 1. You get
5
what I'm saying?
against 1, all with shanks.
Always shanks, fam. You know what I'm saying?
That's how they
And
fight
that,
now,
what
fam.
I'm saying, the reason why I use reference to this story, because people always ask me, okay, like I'm not caught up in Holly Street Fields. I don't give a shit about it. Like I said, my next door neighbours are Fields, but I borrowed a black pepper the other day. We're 100. I don't give a shit. Why I refer to the past, because that's the way you undress the story.
Yeah.
This is the way you understand the psychology behind the mentality of what we're dealing with. So when I say like all these guys I'm calling names, that's who they was as children. Robyn that's who he was as a child. I don't know if these people have still got the same mentality. However, what I understand from that day specifically, and even after that, was when they rushed him, I got involved. And I smacked up 1 or 2 people. And then we got rushed, but I was fine. And another friend of Ryan was there, a couple of man was there, he wasn't even from Hackney, so he's mad. Anyway, but it was like, we've come back to Holly Street that day, and I remember thinking, bro, we're better fighters. I remember feeling like, this isn't going to be hard beef, because man's not on it with us. Like, Mohammed gave me that. Do you get what I'm saying to you? I knew that you lot don't want this tomorrow, so I employed, when I see man at school, run them.
Pressure now.
No one didn't want no beef.
So you see,
the only time man wanted beef, and that's why I lost respect for a lot of man in the hood, is when they had olders like DC and certain other man, and I was like, rah, we don't have olders because the flats have been knocked down.
And now,
Do you get it?
now
And
the
then
oldest
where did the first murder come from? Our side. Look at the psychology. If you're gonna keep calling your older brothers to defend you, and you got more numbers, and we're fed up of getting rushed, I got stabbed at 14 because there was 30 of them and one of me. What do you think?
There's 30, I'm saying there's 30.
And you need
one
to
of
stab
you,
me.
But that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
So understand the
It's
mentality. The
nasty
person who
now,
stabbed
fam.
me, again, is in the book, and he was meant to write the book with me, so he knows exactly what I'm talking about. And I never hold back in saying this. He stabbed me, but I battered him in a fair 1-on-1. Why did he come back and stab me? Because his pride was dented. And if he didn't come back, everyone would have said he's a pussy. Would he have been a pussy? No, you just got beat up by a better fighter.
No, but that doesn't.
But this is where the streets started to go, and that's when I got
brother.
stabbed, and that's when I
That's
said,
what I'm saying. So
I
you
went
lot
straight to
started
this.
the
Am I a
thing.
gunman because I went to gun? No. Am I a bad man because I picked up a gun after getting stabbed? No. But I realized you, and you don't fight fair. I could probably bang over all of
Right.
you. However,
But you need
I have
your
now
thing.
become a prisoner to the street. The same concept of the man taking the ball off it's the same concept. I have now said, okay, you stabbed me, even though I battered you in a fair fight, and no one in your team has beat me in a 1-on-1 fight. I beat up your main players, not your BCs.
Hey, your first team.
I'm beating up man who you lot have given names to. So what I'm saying, no, but
I know what you mean. But you put them on that level with the
Bro,
name.
not in a
No.
bragful way. Because
No,
that's
no,
the
you
thing.
mean,
Up your
It
subs,
gets-
you know, your start
They put their name on that.
Yeah,
You put your,
I'm saying
Your manager.
your main player. So if we've had a main
Directors.
fight, if we've had a fight, I respect you if you did what Mohammed did.
Yeah, come back and
Don't come back and stab me.
Yeah, that's
Come back and offer me at tomorrow. Come back and offer me at the day. And guess what would have happened after all of that smokes? We would have probably been friends.
But
Yes.
let me ask you.
Like
but
what you're
that's
talking
old
about.
school.
Let me ask you a question though. You see, like, what was
Undress
that?
it.
What was that pivotal change from? Because obviously this has happened from you lot's era. Because I did hear from 97, 98 is when knife crime and gun crime started coming in. Around
See, a
that
lot
time.
of our dads would disagree. Knife crime came in when National Front was chasing
No,
our
all right,
dads.
no. I was gonna say. Let me correct that.
I know our dads were hiding underneath cars.
Sorry,
Yeah,
let me correct it properly. I was just about to say, but like before that, I'm saying when we started turning on each other.
Each other,
But before that, I remember the NFs chasing. But I was in Wood Green when NFs come down to Wood Green and ran man down. Or one time we chased one guy in the pub, innit? That was an idiot. We thought we was cool. There's one brother. Yeah, boy, bare of them come out with baseball bats, snooker,
honest.
cue. We
And
said,
they couldn't
what?
wait to play.
What, they were on us, fam.
Yeah.
But so I
They got a
remember,
hatred for
but
man,
I
yeah,
remember
yeah.
being just under 10 and that happening. But that pivotal change between
Again, I
us
think
turning on each other from
again,
that. When
I
did that-
can't see. I wrote the book Prison to the Street, and I made the statement that this is the first. Because I'm from Hackney, I'm like, I never heard about no postcode or inside beef happening like Holly Street and Fields. That's
Yeah.
what I said.
Yeah.
However, when I wrote the book, bro, when I wrote the book, I got challenged. There was older saying, no, cause you're wrong. They ain't the first beef in Hackney. Like within Hackney, I'm like, I'm not saying it's the only beef within Hackney. I'm talking about we're nice when motherfuckers
When
stab
it's
each
like
other.
kicking
They-
off.
even now we can do this, and people will watch us and say, well, you know what, he's right, and some a section of people say he's right,
wrong. Yeah,
and a
yeah.
section of people
I
say
think we got a fields person on next week.
a section of people say I'm wrong for making a statement to say that the beef started with us. But for me, I believe it did start with us because before that, all I remember was Hackney versus Tottenham.
Yeah.
Now,
Okay,
I'm not saying even before Hackney and Tottenham, so we've got to undress it even more now. So I spoke to an older guy the other day from South, and he said to me, bro, to be fair, we frigged it up back in the day. Basically, he's saying to me that, was it North and East man used to go raving down South. They basically told me Brixton man started to, like our dads, they started to rub them man for their chain or whatever when they're coming down. Obviously, you're in the ops end, so you're outnumbered. So that messed up our little party vibes. We started to turn on each
Everyone
other.
used to party
I
together.
can believe that though.
So that's the real division. It's not about Holly Street and Fields. It's about the olders before, like our dad's age. They didn't say, you know what, we're being oppressed racially. So instead of us go and rub the NF for their chains and bracelets, we want to rub North and East.
And I've never understood that
Stripping us.
because when we come over or when the British brought the Caribbeans, our Caribbeans over to, and the Africans to build up this country, obviously the Caribbeans came first. Where did I'm still confused of where the divide happened because obviously they would have easily thrown they could have easily thrown black people, like they would have thrown us in the main areas, Tottenham, Brixton, Northwest, whatever, blah blah blah. But I'm surely we've all come over from the same boat, so we have to have known each other, fam.
Oh
If we
no,
go
no,
raving
not
and
like
we do
that, not
certain
like
things,
that. Okay, not like that.
there must be some
No,
kind
no,
of,
no,
yeah,
no.
yo, I know
Yeah,
mine,
there was
I know
there was a
mine,
lot of Caribbean, and my mum was a part of one, like Hackney Black People's Association. There was a lot of what's it called, black groups. Even when we did it, my granddad, I heard, rest in peace. They used to do it in Coventry, up them sides used to live. Okay. Like in the house, my mum said. When it was
I think Peterborough as well, because they got like a Marcus
areas.
Garvey.
But our granddad might say, come, like it might be what we're doing now, to say, yeah, come here, have black people conversation. And it's like, because everyone's new. And for me, I think we're too harsh on each other as a culture in the sense of black people ain't got this, we ain't got that. Well, we didn't come from the same place in India.
Yeah.
We come from Barbados, Antigua, Jamaica, St. Dominica, wherever we come from,
All
Dominica.
over, yeah,
I'm saying to you, our cultures vary. Our color doesn't make us the same. So when we came here, we might have had all those conversations, but we didn't really, how can I say this? Value each other. But let me
tell you what's mad about that here, is because you say that we all come over here and we have all different cultures and backgrounds and stuff like that.
Similar though, but yeah.
But when you go over to other countries and you see black people, fam, we acknowledge each other. No matter where you go, other than this country.
Well,
no matter where we
in the
go,
office and you work.
Even
you
in
go to the
I'm saying,
office,
forget that.
black
No,
people,
but forget that. Even if you're in Italy or if you're in somewhere mad, if you see a black, you just naturally acknowledge people. So how when you come over here?
Situation, like you were saying, everyone got together because it was new to them. When man go to somewhere else,
it's
that's
new to
for
you.
us.
Yeah,
Well,
I
you
hear
see,
that.
Even if you work in the hotel, there's a black guy working there.
But you acknowledge him.
But naturally, you would do that.
Naturally, we acknowledge people. Like I think in London, if man see, like what Rob was saying earlier on, if man see each other in jail or whatever, you might screw, even in the London Underground, you might screw a man, you know. Now, big man team, but London Underground, you might screw a man.
But London's
go to Amsterdam or go Dubai. You might hail up that same brother that you might have screwed on London Underground.
No, but London, you can't even say hello to people. They look at you funny.
But that's what I'm saying. But why is it
If
like
someone
that,
says hello to you, you look at them.
It's
funny.
weird, like, bro, you're
We're not
right.
used to that, like, but really, that's a greeting. Fam.
That's
You
a
should
greeting.
do that.
Hello,
fam.
good morning.
And it's only this country, or not this country, because if you go outside of London, people will greet you. There's been places in the UK where people greet you, but London, it seems
I think
mad.
it's also, it's not just where we are, it's also the stereotypes that have increased that further. And like, to be fair, we're so lost right now. Like it's sad, man. Like when I think about where we are as a people, and even on the music scene, I listen to music and I see man talking the hardest, nastiest most evil, self-destructive talk on rap and drill, and I listen to it sometime, and I think, when I was younger, there was more quality in rap. Nas was a storyteller. Religion, street, part, whatever, you get history, black history. A lot of these rappers are not talented, but they got platforms to talk shit. A lot of these young children is listening to them chatting shit. And when you're listening to people chatting shit, remember, you've got to look at it like this. We're in our 30s now. Our dads weren't in YouTube videos with hoodies chatting shit.
If I was 11,
get promoted like that? Because we're
mainstream. We get mainstream. We get millions to get pumped into this bullshit.
Cool. To answer that question and that question collectively, because it's the same line of question.
Yeah, go on.
You asked the question about why we're not together. And you said, what? There's a systematic oppression. Yes. When we first came here, no blacks, no dogs, no Irish.
No Irish, yeah.
What's his name? I'm not really listening to these rappers. I'm not interested in none of them, to be fair. But Nine's put out, I think, Crabs in the Bucket. Yeah, I don't know what it's about. I don't really, I'm not really focused on it, to be fair. I'm not from the age where I'm going to go and pick up an Nine's album. I'm from an era of the 90s. Big up all the English rappers. But I'm from an era where I was engrossed in intelligent rap.
And I like you being here, man.
Intelligent rap. So what I'm gonna say is, for me, the crabs in the bucket mentality, for me, and I did it in Freedom from the Streets, and I did a chapter called "Crabs in the Bucket Mentality Reversed." So if all the crabs in the bucket can get along, we don't need to fight to get out of that bucket. If all those crabs weren't pulling each other to get out, so why did we turn on each other? Because the oppression made us realize, oh, that nigga ain't shit. You start seeing him the way they see you. So you don't value yourself.
Why is that? Because they bring you into their thing.
The British didn't value you. So you, how can you value another black man?
Value somebody.
How can you place value upon someone who's been
it's a teaching.
So then and even back then you see, and I'm not judging none of my brothers. Enough black men will end up with white women, not because they like white women back then. Forget today's day age, because they felt like, how can I say this? From what I hear from the people that said it, included, they felt like the woman, even though the country didn't accept them, the woman from this racist world, she's seen me as a decent black man. So you can love me, I can love you. Because although your people might hate me, you're one of a kind. Yeah. And you make me feel like I'm somebody because you've accepted me. Now, when you're dealing with, so psychological, when you're dealing with a man who's like era, let's say all of us are in the era of Windrush, yeah? You got qualification, you could drive trade, you could do all this shit. All of us is qualified, electric. We ain't getting no jobs. So what's happening, like I said, feminism again. Our wives are working as nurses. A few of us have got jobs. A few of them are struggling to get jobs too, but it looks like we're hope, and that's why you hear about enough man beating up their wife back then. Because there's a esteem issue. The self-esteem is, why can't my wife come and bring back money and make you and bring, and you feel shit about yourself. I'm not condoning it.
No, but there's an end of
That's just the way how he's saying it. No, it's real what he's saying.
I'm not condoning that. Like, my grand, from what I heard, I don't rate it at all. And you're getting bitter. And then when you get bitter, you turn it damages yourself, right? So when we couldn't elevate in this country, Windrush era, and this is just my perspective on it, people might say he's chatting shit. When we couldn't elevate at that era, we turned on one another. Yeah. We didn't turn on the NF. We didn't turn on the oppressor. That's all we do. That's what we do worldwide. America, LA, Bloods and Crips. Black Panthers went from Black Panthers to Bloods and Crips. How? Because somebody put little crack cocaine there and one of the black men thought, oh, okay, fuck the Black Panthers. Although what they're doing might be righteous, I need to eat. Crabs in the bucket. That's what I don't know what this album about that 90s doing. This is what crabs in the bucket means. And crabs in the bucket, you can't talk about crabs in the bucket as someone trying to figure it out if you're one of the crabs in the bucket. So let's just say I'm not Nines, I'm not a rapper, I'm just giving an example. If I'm on the streets and I'm promoting the streets, how the fuck am I going to mention crabs in the bucket? I'm still one of the crabs in the bucket. Yeah, true. So I got to be able to talk about objectively.
That's true.
No. You get what I'm saying to you? Yeah. I've got to be able to. I've got to be able to explain objectively, not just from being in it and accepting it. And I believe personally, I've broken that crabs in the bucket mentality. I don't want to bring down none of my people who's in the bucket with me. In fact, I want to elevate them. So for me, I'm now looking at it objectively. Yeah, I still live in the hood. I'm not selling drugs. I'd rather be broke if I ain't got no money. I'd rather be on universal credit, eat hard bread and ham, whatever it is. I'm
That
saying.
man said hard bread, you know, not even the Tesco's Valley bread. Man, still got standards.
Still got
in
levels.
the hard bread, then that.
You know the hard bread will keep you long life, little longer.
Thin Tesco's bread toasted and it's snapping and drying.
I didn't say butter. You never heard me say butter. You never heard me say butter.
But you got hard bread, so you might be good about that.
But it's thick enough, you know.
Got flavour in there.
Sacrifice the
Why
butter
for
for the
that?
bread. You know what I'm saying to you? Sacrifice the butter for the bread. But no, real talk. What I'm saying is because we get to a point where we can't humble ourselves. And because we can't humble ourselves, we don't realize that we are those crabs in the bucket. Like for me, money, I'm not saying money is not important. It's very important. That's why I said economy and learning about how to that's probably one of my weak spots. But in terms of that, as a people, that's definitely what we need. And I'm just saying in terms of, when I talk about the crabs in the bucket mentality, in terms of, if you're a drug dealer, you're one of the crabs. People don't like to have this conversation with me. Because there's enough man in my hood who will say, yeah, but cuz Rob, you're chatting shit, it's the way of the streets. Suck your mother straight. I'll say it straight, suck your mother. You're lost still, innit? And because you're lost, you want to challenge what I'm saying to you, but not from an educational standpoint, from one who is still warped in a prison to the street mindset. So you lot haven't understood, not just you in England, worldwide, we are not going to elevate by the means of the street. That's why FBI Ever Hoover put the drugs in LA, because he knows that if one man has drugs, that whole Black Panther ideology can break. Because what happens is, that one person is making other people crackheads. Morals are dropping in that community. There's poverty. There's going to be crime because you're got the fiend you want to, as the fiend you want to get. As the dealer, somebody going to want to kill you. We keep you lot in that bucket. So until you get all of those negatives, like Tupac said, I think he said about selling drugs, don't sell it in your ends. I like that to a degree. In fact, I really like that. But to be fair, as a man of the creator, I don't want anybody to. You don't want anyone crack. I don't want to be How can I be? Noriega and Capone said it. New York, get the blood money. It's fucking blood money. How can I be blessed from you suffering from the drugs I give you? But then I'm gonna say, Clip said it in the lyric as well. The rapper. Yes, it pains me to see them need this. All of the lost souls, and I'm their thesis. Something. But at the same time, I still supply, and that's how I know that I ain't shit. Clips. I can't remember the lyric. I probably got it all wrong. But what he's saying is, somebody needs it. I'm gonna supply in it. But however, what I'm saying to you, that's when you become the crab. Because I'm telling you, I come from a shotters family. Because I say this live on whatever. Because no one ain't shotting no more, bruv. I never sold crack, cocaine, heroin, nothing. Why? Because I had a cracker living in my house. My mum's husband. I didn't want to be a part of that shit.
So what it is.
Bro, so what did I chose to work in a restaurant at 15, I had a burn at 16. None of them didn't know. I was working in Chiquitos, wiping down, putting that knife on floor.
I'm glad no one complained about you then. You know what I'm saying? Man had the burner.
But this is
not at work.
I was gonna say, but this is the thing though. A lot of
coming
people,
back every day.
This is why I've never really made excuses for man on the road and that, because you can actually be in any kind of job and still do what you're doing on the road. But you do, huh?
Yeah, it's true.
No, because like
removals and still
bro, I was my first little job experience, but after the paper round, obviously I got a job. I was in a hotel. Then after that, then man started doing stadiums and concerts and all of these things to get a check. Do you get what I'm saying? And then when I didn't have a job, then man went on the road for a little while. Man, start getting electric key and start doing other little moves and whatever. You get what I'm saying? But I still managed to.
You said electric key. Sorry, can we pause on the electric key for a second? Can we just pause? Was it £50?
£50 for 25. But I was cleaning up.
But you know what? Yeah,
I had East and South on.
Man,
Needed that link. What? I was making about 4 or 5 bills a day. It's a big man thing, fam. I had an Uber driver in South, the phone man, and say, like, you know, Battersea, them 2 blocks, the whole 2 blocks behind Tesco's, man had that pattern. Then we'd have to drive Croydon. Got another few people on Croydon.
So be careful.
But you know what? No,
you might have to edit some parts, but the point just make on that.
No, but just quickly, all my customers were white though.
Listen to what I'm saying to you.
They were cleaning up.
What you're doing.
Yeah,
is not
that weren't helping. It was helping. Sorry, it weren't hurting.
Not damaging to your own community.
And
that's something that Tupac was trying to say.
But
you're not. It's not. When I say it's not damaging, so when I say you're not. Drugs is damaging to a community, bro. I know that a lot of black people. This is what makes me get fed up with our culture. Like I'm actually fed up with the fact that we keep, what's the word? We keep turning to the streets as a way out. When I watch Breakfast Club, when I watch anything black, when I hear people talking about, man had to get, I either got to be a rapper, and then talk about the streets and all the rest of it, which for me, I don't rate anyone, even Jay-Z. People always say to me, Rob, don't you rate Jay-Z because he's doing this and he's doing... I said, brother, when Jay-Z was talking negative and man was too young to understand it, man was being misled by that.
Yeah,
he was profiting off of that. We see Jeezy telling his youth to private school while he's talking about...
Motherfucker, keep your strap, hey.
Yeah?
He's sending me to stand
Soul
on the
Survivor and all
yeah,
that thing there,
yeah?
When you're on the block and you're doing a Soul Survivor, and I'm saying to you, you're promoting that to a magnitude of people. Your voice is transcending on a universal level to young people who are already prisoners to the streets, who are not old enough to understand right from wrong in its full concept.
But is he making it for them?
Not whether he's making it for them or not. It's like me writing a book, knowing that it's got something that could get into your son's hand. Yeah, that's not positive. But I know that it's going out to the world. So it might say parental, in fact, I think it does say parental advisory. One of them had parental advisory. So it might say parental advisory, but at the end of the day, it's like, hold on a minute, what parents advising who? Music gets out. Yeah, I'm saying. So like what we was listening to when we was, bruv, Mobb Deep kill a nigga. I was listening to something, and I'm like, when I'm older, I'm like, yo, Mobb Deep was chatting shit. I was like, yo, why was they saying kill a nigga in my psyche? You're not telling me kill an NF. It's self-destructive, bro. I don't give a fuck what rapper you was. You could have been my favorite rapper. As an adult, I'm like, you look what? It's like when we said fuck the police, NWA, FBI got involved, shut that down. Yeah. The second we talk about licking down each other and all the rest of it,
want some more money? Want some more money?
Okay, so then us as black people now, even though we know this age-old argument, everybody wants to become a rapper, talk about what they did on the street, sit in front on a podcast and have a fucking civilized conversation about, the reason why I'm doing the things, boy, I don't tell man to go out and do the things I'm doing in it.
The role model of fam.
Wretch is one of my favorite rappers right now. Not because he's my friend from primary school, not because I've known him from the age of 4, because he's not talking a lot of shit. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
One of the coldest.
Do you understand? J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar. Like there's certain rappers who, like, big up to some of today's rappers, I can listen to you and say, I can hear you. Where at the age of, I'm hearing man my age now talking about things man was doing at 13 and 14. And you're bragging about it. You're talking about your team. A lot of these rappers don't even fucking live in the ends where they go to shoot the video. So your guy in there saying that you're repping this ends, that ends. You lot don't live there no more. So you're leaving that drama with the young bucks. And you're leaving that stigma where you can't even tell girls where you're from certain areas, with that era where those young kids are still living. And people seeing those videos, that's where the front line must be. So you're actually making your young bucks vulnerable. So what I'm saying is, whatever we're doing in terms of selling drugs or rapping to get out of the hood, that is the crabs in the bucket mentality.